Morning. These are your Nassau Guardian highlights for Wednesday, December 17th, 2025, brought to you by Your Daily Bahamas Headlines, especially for people on the go and those who are visually impaired. Please don't forget to like, share, and follow our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp channels. We begin this morning with the main story making headlines across the country. More staff at the Grand Lucayan Resort in Freeport, Grand Bahama have been sent home until further notice, just 1 week before Christmas, as employees continue to wait for overdue pay. According to the Nassau Guardian, workers at the government-owned resort have now gone at least 2 weeks without salaries. While more than 40 essential staff members had been working limited days up to last Friday, it remains unclear how many have now been told to stay home. The resort is still not open to guests. Prime Minister Philip Davis has acknowledged the delays and said staff will be paid, but provided no timeline or clarity on the future of the property. Former Tourism Minister Dionisio Daguilar has criticized the Davis administration for prematurely announcing multiple sale agreements before they were finalized, warning that repeated failed deals continue to hurt confidence and prolong uncertainty for workers and the Grand Bahama economy. The Guardian reports that despite earlier announcements that a new buyer would assume all expenses, the government is still covering payroll and other costs months later, deepening concerns about accountability and transparency surrounding the troubled resort. In other national news, retired NBA champion Rick Fox has launched a new civic platform called the Bahamas Future Movement, describing it as nonpartisan and uncompromising. Fox says he is investing $1 million of his own money and is demanding greater transparency from all political parties ahead of the next general election. He has raised concerns about immigration, border preparedness, electoral reform, and the speed at which recent legislation has been passed, saying silence from leaders is no longer acceptable. Meanwhile, the Bahamas Telecommunications Company has pushed back against claims from unions that its Poinciana Drive offices are unsafe. BTC says independent air quality reports confirm the building is safe, following protests by union members earlier this week. Also making news, a prison bus transporting inmates crashed near the Sydney-Poitier Bridge. Police say 2 officers, 2 female inmates, and a civilian were injured and taken to hospital. All inmates have been accounted for. In healthcare, a newly formed National Health Insurance Providers Association is calling on the government to officially register the group. Doctors involved in NHI say they are frustrated by inconsistent payments, lack of consultation on policy changes, and new service fees expected to take effect in January. The association says physicians have not been paid for the past 2 months and warns the current system is becoming unsustainable. From the courts, prosecutors have dropped a murder case related to the death of an inmate at Fox Hill Prison in 2021, while in a separate case, a man accused of a $50,000 armed robbery was acquitted after a jury took just 10 minutes to reach its verdict. Turning to culture and tourism, renovations at the historic Fort Fincastle Water Tower are now expected to be completed in January 2026, following delays. Straw market vendors who were temporarily relocated continue to wait for the site to reopen. In community news, residents of Seabreeze gathered for a festive Holly Jolly Christmas party hosted by MP Leslie Miller Breese, featuring games, food, entertainment, and fireworks, bringing holiday cheer to the constituency. In business, Bahamas Waste has announced the appointment of Disa Campbell as its new managing director. Campbell, a former CFO of the company, will officially take up the role in the new year. And finally, in environmental and marine safety news, the Bahamas National Trust and the Elizabeth Harbor Conservation Partnership have begun installing new slow no-wake buoys in Exuma waters, aimed at improving safety, protecting marine habitats, and enhancing the overall visitor experience. In today's editorial, the Nassau Guardian welcomes a significant reduction in murders this year, commending law enforcement and the government, while warning against complacency. The paper stresses that long-term crime reduction will require deeper reforms, stronger institutions, and continued community vigilance, especially during the holiday season. As we close this morning's highlights, remember this: an informed people is the strongest foundation of any democracy. That's a look at today's Nassau Guardian highlights. Thank you for listening. Stay safe, stay informed, enjoy your day, be blessed, and be a blessing.